Welcome to the channel. I hope you guys are doing okay. This is Yellow Cossack, and I'm bringing you some more wonderful footage of WARNO. This match is going to be taking place on the chemical map. It's going to be a 2v2. We're going to have a NATO faction, the Americans and West Germany, going against the Russians, the 79th group versus East Germany. So as you guys know, I always start off the match by just showing you guys what we brought to the table. Right off the bat, I brought some Jaeger infantry units here. As you guys can tell, I brought about 4 of them with a Stinger unit, which is an anti-air unit. And behind that, we have another M163, which is an awesome, cheap anti-air unit. So next to them here, we have some M106A2s. I love using these. These are just really good for damaging vehicles, especially light armored, and routing infantry pretty quickly if you're accurate with that. Up front here we have some M3A1 Bradleys, which I also love using. They're great against tanks and especially infantry and even helicopters if you use them correctly. As I was saying, guys, this map, capturing the island, is super vital. It's actually why I named the video King of the Island, because this island has 12 command points alone. So if you control this island, you're going to win the game. Now on the map, there are some additional command points. There's 2 over here, and there's 1 way out here. So right off the bat, our ally strategy, I believe, with these units over here was to just go over here and disrupt the enemy and not let them take this or hold this command point, which is not a bad strategy, especially if we don't do as well over here. Perhaps the enemy has some upper hand on us at one point here, but the goal for us today is to capture this area first, then perhaps to move up here and capture this zone here and eventually push out the enemy right here. The reason why we are doing it in such an order is actually because the enemy is going to heavily deploy right into this area, and I just know that from playing this game from experience. So again, let's take a look here on the left side. I have some more. This is a supply truck. We have a command unit, obviously not armored at all, wouldn't really survive very long if somebody found them. In the back here, I have an anti-tank unit. I love using the M60 tanks because they have 10 front armor and 5 side armor. So for 80 cost, that's a pretty cheap and effective unit. They can shoot up to 2100 meters, and they actually pack quite a punch. If you use them correctly, they can be quite an asset. And here I have just some more infantry units, as well as another anti-tank unit and another M60 tank. The reason why I brought up so many tanks is not actually to go in here, but actually to protect my left flank here and to deny the enemy access to this bridge right here on our western side. Let's take a look at what our ally brought here to the table. So right off the bat, they have some infantry units here, and of course the Gepard, which is just all around a wonderful anti-air unit that can really chew up pretty much anything except for tanks. It's just an amazing unit all around. The only downside is it's very expensive. Let's move on to the M48. As you guys can see, for unit quality, it says it's a poor unit. That's obviously because it has very little armor. It can shoot quite far, but again, I would primarily use it to suppress infantry, destroy light armor vehicles, and I would never use it to engage with a tank unless that tank was extremely low health. Then they brought up some more infantry and just a lot of tanks. You got the Leopard, right? This is a great tank. Look at that front armor, 19. That is hard to match. Now this one right here is a little bit more similar to the one that I use, the M60. It's got better accuracy and longer range for the gun, but also less armor. So take it or leave it. Then they got their Luke's A1. These are just their recons, pretty mobile, and I believe actually today they're amphibious. So that is our ally here on our eastern side, and our ally has brought up a couple of tanks, some infantry, and a recon unit up here. So I can't imagine them holding this area very well. but if anything, we can slow down the enemy from taking this point. But again, like I told you guys, our goal is to just capture this island. So without further ado, let's start the match. And just to give you guys a little bit of perspective, even though you guys can see all the blue units right now, that is not how the game is played. If I, for example, click you guys can see this is what we actually see in real life. And actually for this match, we will not be showing you guys the enemy's units, but rather we'll be showing you what we are getting in contact with. As you guys can see, there's an M24 sneaking up on us right now. Good thing I have a Stinger missile. It's firing at the Mi-24, which is likely to get shot down very quickly if it doesn't retreat. And they're shooting back at us. One of my infantry Jaeger units is getting quite damaged from the Mi-24. Like I told you guys, it's a very heavy-duty helicopter that can put down a lot of pain on the enemy. Let's slow things down a little bit. We got an engagement over here, some infantry, as well as their supporting SPW-70 vehicle. And you see a BRM-1 here. Enemies pouring in a bunch of tanks. So this unit is getting quite hammered right now at the moment. But let's see how well they perform. And we have artillery fire coming down on our unit. So we're meeting a lot of resistance over here. As you guys can see, I wanted to capture these buildings here, but I was not really able to do it because we met just really heavy enemy resistance. The field of view here is great, so that's why you would want to have a building like this. But right off the bat, guys, we actually lost one of our units here. Here my Jaeger unit is engaging this T-55, unfortunately straight head on, which is not something you'd really want to do. But this tank is quite damaged, so hopefully we can destroy it here. And we did destroy that unit right there. So we can see the enemy has some Mi-24 helicopters. Again, you guys already saw how brutal they are. And we have an engagement going on here with one of my Bradleys positioned right there. We were actually able to get a kill right there, which is exactly why I put it in that position. Here we have an infantry unit engaging with a tank. And we got some recon fighting on recon. Close fight there, but both units were eliminated. And we have our ally right here engaging these helicopters, which is one thing I've always said before. It's really surprising how how well helicopters can actually damage these tanks, which I've always been shocked. Not very realistic, obviously, but it's nice to be able to fight off helicopters like that. So in the early game here, I was taking pretty heavy casualties on the right-hand side here, just because the enemy was just flying in helicopter after helicopter, which kind of surprised me. So eventually, you know, I'm pushing up my M163. I'm pushing up another Cobra helicopter to try to just help suppress any armor that comes into our territory here. So just trying to get a better footing for holding this position. Here I have some M106A2 artillery, which we're moving in a safer position. I was trying to cross here with my anti-air, but I was just receiving heavy fire from here and here, and I just didn't want to lose that unit, so I had to pull them back. But I am pushing in my first M60 right here. I'm probably going to try to place it right here in the tree line so that I could see anything that comes from up top. As you guys can see, I positioned these units right here. We have an anti-tank unit, an M60 and another M60, and we're covering anything that comes through here. Anything that attempts to cover the bridge or cross the bridge, we're going to destroy quite quickly. As I told you guys earlier, here our ally is disrupting the enemy. They have a bunch of tanks in their territory, and I'm sure not long from now they'll be able to actually either contest this area or take it away from the enemy, which would actually give us an advantage. And our ally is also protecting our right flank, which is great because I told you guys that would be pretty important. And as I stated earlier, you know, if we didn't do so well here, contesting in an area like that would be great for us. And we have successfully done that. Here we go. We got some engagements going on. We have an Mi-24 firing on our infantry. This AGS-17 is going to get destroyed. There you go. Our infantry took it out. Unfortunately, this infantry unit is just getting put through the meat grinder. They need to retreat. I think I tried to take him out of there a little too late. Whenever it says stunned, by the way, on your infantry, it just means that your infantry is routed. So here on the right side, we're not doing so hot. And hopefully, yep, I'm already bringing up some more infantry units to try to help compensate for what's going on here in this territory. I'm really not liking what I'm seeing. Here we have a Bradley engaging the infantry. But unfortunately, we didn't see that there's another unit about to flank us here from this side. Yep, and they took out our Bradley with one shot. How unfortunate. Here I am moving up some tanks, hoping to compensate on the weaker side of Echo here. I believe I'll eventually move them here, yep, into the tree line to try to surprise the enemy and compensate for losing this territory, essentially, because the enemy is actually pushing us really hard right here on the right side of Echo. Here we go. These are the M113s, which are armed with those Dragoon missiles that can destroy the BRMs if hit enough times. Here's that T-55, and we just took out the BRM-1. Very good. You guys can hear the M106A2s firing off. I'm actually going to be trying to destroy this T-55 here with that artillery. Let's see how effective that is. Here we have this T-55 moving up. And unfortunately, I have my anti-air unit that got spotted here by an enemy tank. I don't think he's going to be making it out of there alive. Here comes down that artillery. By the way, if you do light the forest on fire from your artillery, the tanks will take damage, especially when the tank is actually damaged this much. It's very likely for the tank to get destroyed from that. So we took out this tank, but we did lose the anti-air unit here. We have ally infantry over here. You could see that the enemy is trying to storm the bridge. Maybe take this sector here just to improve their chances. If they can cut off their enemies' resupply routes, which are coming from here, they'll be able to take this area, which they haven't. So right now things are going pretty good for us. We are about to have an engagement with my infantry versus the T-55. If I remember correctly, we destroyed both tanks in just one shot. They're already heavily damaged from the artillery and previous engagements. So that was a pretty good move by me. So now we have pretty much resecured this area pretty well. Here we have another T-55. Actually, they're having a little spat on the bridge here, and the Leopard, which is a much better tank than the T-55, blew it away in one shot. Here my artillery is coming in again. I'm not sure what I'm actually targeting at this point. Probably this infantry unit right here. Let's see if we can hit it. This infantry unit is actually getting suppressed by some of the M48s and got destroyed quite quickly. Here comes down my artillery. And you can see that unit right there. They're actually going to be taking that, wow, right there, right on top. It's actually really cool to see the water get hit by the artillery too. Here my anti-air unit is engaging the Mi-8 helicopter. These things are insane unit suppression helicopters. And it's going to be going down. It's kind of funny, even the smaller helicopters for the Russians just seem like just ginormous flying tubs. Taking a lot of damage here. If he doesn't move out of here anytime soon. Here the enemy's artillery is trying to put suppressive fire on me as well. The 253Ms. Here goes this unit. This is the anti-air unit, and we did take it down that helicopter as well. Already firing on another Mi-8. These are really expensive units, by the way, guys, so the fact that they're not protecting them very well is unfortunate. And there goes one of our fighter jets, unfortunate. As you guys can see, it's already 408 to 144. We are winning quite significantly at this point. We are receiving artillery fire. We just destroyed another recon. We can see that there's some infantry unit over here, some infantry unit over here. As you guys can see, I already gave the attack order from my artillery to fire upon any infantry over here. And they are pretty damaged already, so they should get destroyed quite quickly. We're seeing a little firefight happening between my units and the enemies. Let's see how long they live. Here comes the artillery. I would not want to be them right now. And that unit has been destroyed right before their artillery came right up on top of them. So things are cooling down just a little bit, and we are securing the area. Here goes another T-55. Like I told you guys, these tanks are not very strong, and my units were actually able to destroy it fairly quickly, even though they were shooting right at its front armor. But we already started receiving artillery fire that's just very, very accurate. I will tell you guys that the 253Ms on the Russian side are a lot more accurate than I expected them to be. Here we have an engagement between infantry and their infantry. Slowly moving up here, ideally trying to capture this building and this building. Not much going on here. I'm trying to move up these units over here. Trying to catch any unsuspecting enemy, hoping to maybe even flank them at some point. Just a lot of things going on, guys. Here's my M60 fighting against a T-55. Again, a much better tank all around, so I wouldn't be surprised if it gets taken out. Here you go. Beautiful. Very beautiful. This is a great place to place your tank. This is also a great area to hold. So right now we're kind of reaching, I would say, a more comfortable position. Our ally here is doing very successful in pretty much just stopping the enemy from controlling this capture point over here, which really places us in a much, much more comfortable position. We're even holding this territory right here. I am really surprised that we've been able to hold it as long as we have, and that's probably because there's just a lot of open fields here, and he's placed his tanks in very strategic positions. Again, there's really not much here. There's a tank, an infantry unit, and a Gepard. So it wouldn't take much to take the area from the enemy or from us. Here we have an engagement going on, one tank to another. Again, these T-55s aren't worth much, but two of them, maybe. Let's see who wins the engagement here. I wouldn't be surprised if the T-55s make it through this. Yep, they do. But they do lose one T-55 in the process. So here you guys see us slowly wanting to push up our infantry on the left side here. And wow, I'm actually really impressed. Yep, that's the T-80. Yeah, the T-80s are have to be the best tanks that the Russians can bring to the fight. They have incredibly good optics. They actually have reactive armor. You guys zoom in here. Yep, they actually have reactive armor here. But this tank actually just got destroyed by us. And I believe that was, yep, that was our Bradley. And like I told you guys, the Bradleys are just amazing at taking out recon or heavy tanks. Honestly, they can take out pretty much anything. You just have to position them correctly. So as you guys can see, I'm resupplying my infantry unit up here. It's very important to resupply your infantry, especially when it comes to their RPGs, because they only have so many shots, which I like because that is a bit realistic. Here we have some units here just kind of hiding out in the rubble, just waiting for more commands by me. I believe I move them up here and here eventually to have a much better position defensively. And we just unloaded these units here. I believe I'm going to start moving them slowly up this way so we can actually finally make a move on Delta and capture it. Here I just brought in a command unit, allowing us to capture our third, I believe. But again, we have 2 of the 3 that we need to win this match and to just feel a lot more secure. Here are infantry units about to take out this anti-air unit, which is actually quite expensive. So if they don't manage it correctly, they're going to lose that. We got a fighter jet fight going on there, which we did not win, unfortunately. But this Su-22 is not going to survive very long. It's about to get shot down. Here it goes. Boom. Here's that 253 artillery getting hammered with counterfire. The enemy's really not doing much here. They got a couple units here, but they're about to get completely destroyed. And we have total control here on the right side. Here the enemy's popping up some units trying to push over here, but our ally does have artillery, infantry, and tanks. Another tank over here. I have a tank protecting our right flank here as well, just in case this infantry tries to make any kind of move. Here we go, guys. Here's our final push into the enemy's territory. We already have 50% of the points we need to win this match, and we're moving our infantry in. Here we have a T-80 fight that actually just got destroyed by this Leopard. Beautiful shot by our friendly. Nice support. Now, I did not see this coming. They have a flamethrower unit that they put up here in this building, and because I was in the forest, my infantry died extremely fast from that flamethrower. Here my Bradley is engaging this Mi-2 recon helicopter. It is important to take these helicopters out, guys, because if you don't, they will provide quite a lot of intel. Here our friendly anti-air Gepard is actually shooting from really far away to take out this recon. We're already receiving counter-artillery fire from the enemy trying to move us out of those buildings. That was a direct hit on the building. Hopefully I start moving these units out. Otherwise, my units are going to receive a lot of damage. Here, one of my F-16 is providing us some intel on the enemy. And we're about to take, with a Bradley and a tank firing on this building, this unit is not going to live very long, especially because they're a flamethrower unit. They can't do much. They have no anti-heavy armor capabilities whatsoever. So as you guys can see, I finally moved up to this building, allowing us to be able to have great field of view for anything coming down this road or from here as well, or even from this side. Here I have a tank protecting this road just in case the enemy pops through in here and tries to kill my command unit. And we have another tank here for protecting our right flank as well. A lot of fighter jets flying around here. It looks like the enemy is putting a little bit of pressure on our ally here and actually pushed us out of this command zone completely, and they're pushing a lot of units here. Oh wow, look at that. There's a little soccer field there. I actually really love the urban environments here. It's very, very beautiful. If you guys zoom in, it just looks like somewhere probably in New England or something like that. A lot of action going on here. There's a cluster strike that it's going to damage this tank just a little bit, not really enough, but our friendlies are actually a little bit in trouble here because they don't have much to fight them here. I believe they're about to shoot their RPG at this one right here. Actually, no, they actually have no RPGs. Wow. Another airstrike here right on top of the tank. This tank is probably going to get destroyed from just the fire. If not, hopefully our ally is able to stop them from pushing them here, because they are pushing them pretty hard. Looks like the enemy has putting up a little bit more of a fight over here because they're getting more and more desperate, because we officially control two of the three that we need, and we've positioned ourselves really well to control all of it. Here we have a good sight of the road. If this infantry SPW-70 tries to make it up this road, we're going to destroy it very quickly, but they're a little smarter than I thought they would be, and they retreat. And they're just moving their infantry unit up here, which is a smart move to do. Here we have a T-55 trying to roll up on us. Let's see how well we do here. I just moved in another command unit in here, guys. So now we have officially captured our first third territory, which is Delta. And now we control 100% of Delta. And as you guys can see, we have a +3, so we're going to be winning significantly over here. Here we have a fight between us and the T-55, putting a lot of hurt on our infantry unit over there. Here we have this recon unit that's about to get destroyed. And here it goes. And it has crashed. Good for us, because we don't want the enemy knowing where we're at. And I'm calling down my artillery, the M106A2s. Here we go. Oh, wow. How cool is that? Guess our artillery missed the tank, but we did blow up this silo over here. And there goes another recon helicopter. Beautiful. Here the enemy was actually able to, they managed to capture this building with 2 infantry units, so this unit really didn't have a chance here. They're just getting pinned down by enemy suppressed fire, and unfortunately they did not make it home. And that's game, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it was quite a quick match. Took very few losses, and I was able to capture the 3 main parts of the island. Thanks so much for coming and watching the video, guys. As always, I appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and if you like this content, I'll be making more. Take care.